Hey yo, what's going on? We are live once again here with all my YouTube friends. Everybody say hey, hey. Everybody say ho, ho. Everybody say hey, ho. Everybody say hey, your mom's a ho. Everybody say hey, your mom's a big fat ho, titty and a bitch, and she likes to take it slow. Everybody say hey, your mom's a ho. Everybody say hey, your mom's a big fat ho, titty and a bitch, and she likes to take it slow. Yeah, looks like my watch page is now on. Good news. All right. Got our first donation coming in. PJCnet says, getting you started as usual. Thanks in advance for another excellent stream. Well, you are welcome in advance. You already know it's going to be an excellent stream. I mean, look at the topic. Look at the thumbnail. I mean, this isn't our first rodeo by any means, right? How many of these have we done? These bang, bang, pow, pow situations. How many of these things have we broke down? It's pretty much the same thing every time. Little details change. You know, the place where the supposed bang, bang happened. The actors who are going to pretend that they were there and they're so upset. Those things are different. But it's still the same operation, still the same drill, meant to do the same thing. And it's getting so old. But it doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. So all we can do is talk about it, make fun of it, and try and learn from it. So Retro Bill says, feeling good about this one. Do what you do, brother, and we can't go wrong. Well, last night I saw all the news organizations, like every single mainstream media outlet was pumping this, and it was all over YouTube. So like they dedicated almost like an entire section when I was scrolling on YouTube to this crap. And so immediately when I just saw the thumbnail, I'm like, oh, got ourselves a hoax shooting. I could tell. So when I clicked on it, it was like I knew before I even watched the clip, just reading the title, that it was a hoax. That's all I need. Show me a thumbnail that says it's from ABC or CBS or NBC, and then say that X amount of people are dead, and I'm going to call it a psychological operation right out of the gate. I'm just going to assume it is until they prove otherwise. I got another super chat. I missed a couple. All right. Dominic Z says it's okay to send a super chat. Yes, it's more than okay. In fact, I encourage anyone who wants to go ahead and do it. If you want your message on the screen and you want me to read it, that's the best way to make it happen. Now, sometimes if you only send like $1 or $2 and it shoots on by while I'm like in the middle of a ramble, sometimes I'll miss it because it won't get stuck up on screen very long. So in that case, you have to just spam me in the comments and tell me that I missed your super chat, and eventually I'll go back and find it. So once in a while, one will slip past and I have to like go dig it back up. But typically, I'm pretty good at spotting them. All right, so Dan Panita sends a super chat, no message attached, just a super chat. Hey, thanks for that. I appreciate that, buddy. Oh, sweet. Got my package in the mail. All right. All right. So who do we got out here today? We got one of my beautiful mods here, Rose Billman. She says X amount of drag queens are dead. Yes, so we're going to get into all that. We're going to get into like why this isn't just like a regular bang, bang, pow, pow operation. This one is a multifaceted agenda. Not only are they pushing, you know, the anti-gun agenda, they're definitely going to push the LGBTQ, LMNOZ, XYZ agenda as well. So you got kind of a, like I said, a multifaceted attack here. It's not just like a cut and dry gun grab agenda here. Faith, another one of my beautiful mods in chat, says love for Jake. Dragonfire says hello, Jake in chat. All right, let me go through and see who's all here and who's all saying hi real quick. God is great says hey, Jake. Fred Carr says yo yo sup, Jake. Yo yo sup. Yo yo sup. Yo yo sup. Yo yo sup. I don't know why I just did that. Jason Stark says, what's up? Rose Bellman says, hello, Jake and everybody. John X is also here, giving me a hand wave. Fusion Density's got his popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. Everyone get your popcorn ready. All right. Brass Neck says, hello from Glasgow, Scotland. Brensman Cave says, hit the like, guys. Definitely smash that like button. It's going to be a good show. Let's get the algorithm all pumped up with some likeage of the button. Mash One in the house says, sup, Rose. How's it going, buddy? I haven't seen you over here in a few streams. Glad to see you. All right. Kenny Homer says, now I got to get drunk on a Monday. Hey, whatever excuse you need, right? All right. So let's dive right in. For those of you who haven't heard, there was a mass bang bang pow pow in Colorado. A gay club apparently was shot up by, a crazy right-winger probably. I haven't actually looked into much of the suspect, so I don't know. I think I heard that they found the guy or whatever. So any news we find about the suspect's going to be news to me. I just watched a few clips, thought we'll go ahead and break this down and we'll watch some of it and I'll just react to it live. So there's still a lot of details and information I haven't even looked into. So what I like to do is go into these things just assuming it's pure bullshit, pure made for TV bullshit, evil agenda, all that good stuff. And I call that auto hoaxing. And so I auto hoax every single situation like this where one person commits a mass bang bang pow pow. And what I do is I make them convince me that it's real. And if they can't do that, well, then I just go ahead and continue believing that it was a hoax. And remember, this is all a big comedy routine, so it's meant to make you laugh and feel good. Any truth you take from this is all up to you. Quinn Zone's here. Hey, what's up, Quinn? Quinn does NFL breakdowns, not the same as me. He does more like complex breakdowns of the NFL rig games. So if you want to hear somebody like break down the plays in a lot more intricate detail than I do, Quinn's good. So my style is more like clown on the NFL, make it funny for my audience. Quinn doesn't really like make jokes. He more will just like tell you exactly what all the positions are doing wrong and why the plays are phony and rigged. So if you're looking for somebody to go in depth analysis on all the NFL games, basically like every damn rig play, Quinn Zone is definitely putting in the work. He's like one of the only other guys doing rigged NFL content. And he's not a dick piece of shit like Pat Truthner. So I don't mind giving him a shout out. All right. So let's get back into this agenda, this gender bender agenda that they're pushing here. So we all know that it is a New World Order agenda to push the LGBT, LMNOP shit, right? Because the more people who are into the idea of being gay and trans and whatnot, the less people who are going to procreate and have a solid, tight-knit, strong family unit. It's all about destroying the strong, tight-knit family unit. And what they've essentially done here is convinced a lot of youngins who are confused into thinking it's perfectly okay to just decide, if you're not liking being a girl, if you're not fully developed yet, and you like being a tomboy, well, then you might as well just be a boy. And let's see. And also, if you're a young boy and you're not into playing football with the other boys, well, then just go ahead and be a girl. And your parents should encourage this, and everyone should think it's wonderful. And teachers now are even going as far as to tell parents that their kids are showing behaviors of the opposite sex and that they should encourage that sort of thing. So this stuff is no joke being shoved onto the family unit in order to destroy the family unit. Because if your boy wants to be a girl and your girl wants to be a boy, the chances that you're going to have a strong family unit starts to go out the window. And in that case, when your family unit separates, right, and is fragmented, and now you have like a single mother raising children, well, now the government gets to step in and be your daddy. The government kind of likes to be the daddy in the family. They like people to depend on the government, worship the government, listen to the government, just like your parent or something, right? Whereas Billman says, cut your nuts off is the goal. Yeah, and the other way around, you know? It's quite sick. And then when you look at, you know, the Baphomet, for instance, who they like to worship and use in their symbology, it's like a half woman, half man, half beast kind of thing or whatever, right? I don't know if I can have that many halves, but you get what I mean, right? So if you look at what they've been pushing for a long time, and I distinctly remember when my sitcoms started to turn gay. In the 90s, we didn't have a bunch of gay characters, and kids out on the playground were still saying faggot. We didn't have a bunch of gay people on TV and stuff openly gay. And then I remember they had this show called Ellen, where Ellen DeGeneres was a woman who was straight and dated men. And then she decided on her show she was going to come out as being gay. And then the whole show became about her being gay. I distinctly remember that. It was like the beginning of the gay push. And now when you look, now they have like entire TV shows dedicated to like, who's going to be the next top drag queen hosted by RuPaul or whatever. You know, now they have like, you know, shows for kids being drag queens and shit, you know? So what's going on now is they're really pushing this as like, you know, this wonderful way of life, and it's no different than any other way of life, and it should be not only accepted, but it should be celebrated. Here's my thing is like, if I see somebody walking down the street looking like a crazy drag queen, I'm not going to attack that person. I'm not going to hurt that person. I am, however, going to avoid that person. I'm not going to want to talk to that person or interact with that person. The chances are, if you're looking like something or talking like something that I don't like, I'm just not going to deal with you. But the news wants you to believe that there's really crazy people out there who are so mad that they want to go out and bang, bang, pow, pow a bunch of gay people. Like, because they're so mad about it. Sure. Okay. So I'm a guy who's calling out the agenda, but I'm not mad enough to go hurt anyone over it. I'm not going to show up to a club, start firing at queens. What would that do? But the news wants you to believe that there are people, quite a few, so crazy and cuckoo, so mad, they just can't believe that there's gay people and trans people. So they're saying that these crazy cuckoo right-wingers are going out there and wanting to bang, bang, and pow, pow the safe havens, the safe places where these folks hang out. So they can't even be safe in their own safe havens. Oh, this is a good one, Rose. She says, notice the makeup is almost evil and scary looking. In fact, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Yeah, we're going to get to that because the thumbnail features a character that was on the news giving his opinion. And here's the thing with these drag queens. They don't even look like women. Like, what is it that they have in their head? Like, what vision of a woman is in their head? Because I swear these drag queens, they don't look like any woman I've ever seen. Like when I was in high school, there was a ton of cute girls, and none of them put on this crazy Bozo the Clown makeup. And literally, when I see a drag queen, it's like they look more like Bozo the Clown than they do an actual woman. Now, the Thai lady boys, they actually try and look like ladies. So there's a difference. Like the Thai ladyboy types go out of their way to try and actually look like a woman. Whereas the drag queens are like, I'm going to paint my face like Bozo the Clown, and I'm going to be a big, sassy, loud, obnoxious woman that doesn't look anything like a woman. Because that's what I think a woman is. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do big burlesque shows and show everybody how fucking weird and crazy I am. Like, what is it about that? I don't get it. Like, why? And of course, we have to be so accepting. We have to not only accept it, we have to love it and celebrate it. You can't even have a bad opinion about it, or you're a bad guy. Like right now, I'm a bad guy. Oh, sucks. You should probably hate me because of all these terrible things I'm saying. In fact, I'm going to even show a picture, one of these things. I'm definitely a bad guy here, guys. You guys know everything I'm saying right now is just because I'm a narcissistic, misogynistic, straight male. That's why. Oh, wait, I just pulled up. Where's it at? There it is. No, I just pull it myself. Damn it, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't mean to pull up myself. Let's try that again. This one. Nope, this one. Got it. Look at what this title says. Look at the title on this video. This is mainstream news in San Francisco. So CBS in San Francisco says San Francisco drag queen and activist decries hate that fueled LGBTQ nightclub shooting in Colorado. That's a title that they ran with. And this is mainstream news, right? Out to influence popular opinion. And I missed the super chat. Let me get that because I'm about to rant like a mofro. JL says, prior to my divorce, my in-laws started going to drag shows. I wanted to go to real boob shows. They yelled at me like, I'm done. See ya. Yeah, women actually really love to support this shit because typically women are lefty, liberal, loving, spiritual, just love everyone for what they are kind of shit. And so not many right-wing women, or conservative-ish women or woke women are willing to stand up against this shit. So a lot of them will be like, I have a gay friend, so I'm going to go to the gay pride parade and party with all the gay people. It's even more fun than the straight people. So you'll see like girls dressed like sluts who are straight, girls who like dick, will go to the gay pride parade and dress in rainbow shit even when they're not gay, because they've been convinced it's something to celebrate. So my girlfriend back, it's been many years now. It's like shit, we've been broken up for 6 years. So my old girlfriend 6 years ago, she had a gay friend, and I think, yeah, they wanted to go to drag shows and shit like that. It's like a form of entertainment for them. They get into it, right? It's like, worse than going to the opera. Okay, so you see the title. Thanks for the donation, JL. I appreciate it. So you see the title. So right away before I click that, I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be some psyop ass agenda pushing bullshit. I can just tell by the title. You guys can tell what we're about to get into. All right. Get ready, y'all. Viewer discretion advised.
LGBTQ communities across the country are mourning after a gunman opened fire inside a bar last night. Here in the Bay Area, like in cities across the country, vigils are being held to remember and honor the 5 people killed and dozens more injured.
The 22-year-old gunman in custody tonight after walking into Club Q and opening fire with at least 2 guns.
We're still working to identify the firearms and who they belong to, but I can confirm that the suspect used a long rifle.
Things could have been much worse if several people hadn't jumped into action to stop the gunman. Investigators now are looking into the suspect's background before they decide whether or not to charge him with a hate crime. In the meantime, the bartender at the club described the scene.
The door from the dance floor to the patio is a glass door. All that glass had been shattered. It was all over the ground. And I saw someone I knew lying there in that broken glass, having been shot in the neck.
I heard shots, broken glass, bodies. It was, how? Why? How are we supposed to feel safe in our environment when it just got shot up?
The pain is being felt in our own LGBTQ community as well.
Betty, you went to the Castro to get reaction.
Among the crowd of mourners who came out to Harvey Milk Plaza here in the Castro for the Club Q vigil was a drag queen who says she's honoring the victims and fighting back in her own way. At the corner of Castro and Market, emotions ranged from anger to sadness over the LGBTQ nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs. Club Q promoted a Drag Divas drag show on Saturday. It also planned to hold a drag brunch and show on Sunday for Transgender Day of Remembrance.
It just never stops. It feels like every step that we make forward, the more progress we make, the more harder people push back. And it's all based on fear. The hatred is about fear. People that they don't understand, people that they think look different than them.
Sister Roma has been a drag activist and entertainer for more than 35 years in San Francisco. She said she knows she doesn't have to leave San Francisco to find people who aren't thrilled with the queer community.
I do a lot of really big public events. I'm on the main stage of San Francisco Pride. And you kind of have in the back of your mind, gee, I wonder if anything crazy is going to happen. But we can't let the terrorists, and that's what these people are, stop us from being our authentic and true selves. Like I said.
So again, what woman fucking looks like that? What are they even dressing up as? Like I said, that right there is a scary, wicked clown to me. Every day, that's a more scary, wicked clown than the clown from It, right? The original It movie clown is less scary than that thing right there. If I was walking down the sidewalk and then that thing was walking down the sidewalk, I would cross the street. Not because I'm scared that that thing could hurt me. I could kick the shit out of that thing if I wanted. But I would cross the street because I wouldn't want to interact with that thing. I would avoid violence and avoid all interaction. If I saw that thing walking towards me, I would be like, oh my God, I have to go over that way and walk on the other side of the street and block my view, dude. I can't even look. I don't even want to make eye contact passing by. Right? Because if you were to walk by one of these, they'd be like, hello, or something like that. And you'd be like, shut up. Don't talk to me. Hey, sweetie, right? People are like, dude, not all drag queens are like that. Okay, right? As if that wasn't a good description of what they might sound like. This one right here, extra annoying. What is it about drag queens where they have to be super loud and obnoxious and annoying? Get as much attention as possible.
Let the terrorists, and that's what these people are, stop us. Can't let the terrorists, and that's what these people are, stop us from being our authentic and true selves. Like I said, I got up today and I did this to sort of say, you to these people.
Club Q called a shooting a hate attack. Investigators are still determining a motive and whether to prosecute it as a hate crime. Still, the LGBTQ community, including Senator Scott Wiener and Supervisor Raphael Mandelman, came together to comfort one another and call for action.
I am mad. This is enough already. Right. Yeah. Enough. We can put as much sorrow in words to the people, but what does that do?
Some speakers urged people to vote to seek change. When Sister Roma learned of the news Sunday morning, she made a choice.
What can I do? And I knew that I had plans to go serve Thanksgiving meals to people on the streets today. And I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get in my gorgeous, fabulous drag. I'm going to go out and be the biggest, gayest annoyance to these people. Any person who wants to pick up a gun or raise a fist or pass legislation against me, this is for you.
In San Francisco,
And I knew that I had plans to go serve Thanksgiving meals to people on the streets today. And I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get in my gorgeous, fabulous drag. I'm going to go out and be the biggest, gayest annoyance to these people. Any person who wants to pick up a gun or raise a fist or pass legislation against me, this is for you.
So this thing was going to go serve dinner to homeless people, Thanksgiving dinner to homeless people. But instead, it decided to put on that, you know, to send a message to these bad people who are picking up guns and trying to vote legislation against that. Okay, now. So you got dressed up like that to send a message to the bad people, not because you're a freak weirdo who likes that sort of thing. You're doing it to send a message to the bad guys. I'm pretty sure you would have dressed up like that anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what you fucking do anyway. So why are we going to act like you dressed up like this because of what happened at that club? Or allegedly happened at that club? Right? Right? I mean, am I right? I mean, come on. So this thing was going to go serve dinner to homeless people, but it decided that this was a better idea instead. Dang. I guess because it sucks for those people that he was going to help. Guys, look at what they're putting on television. Each time they do one of these, they're eroding away at the fabric of society just that little bit more, one step closer to their ultimate goal, right? One step closer. Every one of these that they do puts them one step closer to their ultimate goal, to get the public to vote away their own Second Amendment rights. Slowly but surely, that's the name of the plan. So you have to think, if the United States, for instance, that's where I live, we'll use that as an example. The United States, lots of people own arms, right? Lots of people have bang, bang, pow, pows, right? So in order to erode away at that, they can do these operations and influence enough public opinion from people who don't own them to vote away that Second Amendment, slowly but surely. And they influence the liberal populations. So all the big cities, if you look at a map like of what areas are conservative and what areas are liberal, all the big cities are always conservative. So even in a all the big cities are liberal. I said that backwards. All the big cities are always liberal. So even in a very conservative state that's red, there's always that one big city that still is blue, right? So all the cities are always blue, the big cities. And then the farther away out you get out of the city, it turns red. So they can convince the people who are condensed in those big cities who don't generally own arms, firearms, we'll say it. They can convince those people a lot more easy with stuff like this to go ahead and vote away your own Second Amendment rights, because of all the crazy people getting a hold of these firearms and doing all this crazy stuff. So let's say if America has been sold out, taken over by, I don't know, China. China's not going to come in here with all of us being armed and try and take this. That would be a bad move. Basically a suicide mission. But what they can do is over a course of 40, 50 years, turn America into the biggest giant failing shithole. And then when not that many people are able to stand up for themselves with firearms, well, then they can come in and scoop it up a lot easier. So coming in and trying to take over this country when everyone's still armed is not such a great idea. So it might take them 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but they have time on their side. So what you have to think of is that this generation of people slowly starts dying out. Is the next generation going to be willing to stand up for their Second Amendment right? Look at all of the foreigners coming in. Are they going to have the same values as one of those white families from the 50s that had values and stuff? Are they going to have the same values as that white family from the 50s, the people coming in from down south, flooding over the border? Do they care about the same rights that we have here? Do they care? You guys get what I'm getting at. So they can slowly, through many different ways, not just these operations, erode away at the fabric in society, the culture, until that culture is something completely different. So what if I was China and I owned the United States, what I would do was slowly kill everyone and make everyone fat and weak, then come in and take the land, right? So you have to make sure all the Americans are fat, have heart disease, depend on the government for money. They're all concentrated into big cities, right? So you can definitely take over a lot easier if you can get most of the population to be stupid and unhealthy and unwilling to fight back. And see, then they can come in under the guise of world government, and all the stupid people will be like, yay, more government. We all joined hands and now we're one government. That's cool. That's a good idea. Awesome. Now China and the United States are all one thing. That's good. It's diversity. It's amazing. That's how they'll sell it to you. And the people who are left standing here still alive in 50 years, however long, will be totally cool with all this going on. They just can't do it too fast right now. They can't send Chinese troops and UN troops through America door to door. That would be a bad move right now. There's still enough people who are going to go down holding their firearms till the bitter end. So they kind of got to get rid of all the people holding on the firearms who are alive right now. And then in, let's say, 50 years, when a bunch of younger people with completely different values and thought process, right, who are a lot more retarded and have been shot up a lot more times with jabberoos and chemical concoctions, they're a lot less likely to value the things that our founding fathers put into place. And of course, those of you who live in European countries, you guys are already farther ahead in the process than we are here in America. So you guys already have had your weapons stripped away from you. So people in your European countries, such as the UK, Australia, you already know what it's like to have the weapons stripped from you. So here in America, since a lot of people have firearms still, they can't exactly just like go door to door and make everyone hand them over. So they have to come up with these clever ways, trick everyone into thinking it's a good idea to just hand over your own gun. And if you don't think it's a good idea, well, then they'll wait for you to get heart disease and die. And then your kid will most likely not have the same values as you because they turned your kid into a LGBTQ thing. Who thinks the news is real? Ah.
or raise a fist or pass legislation against me, this is for you.
In San Francisco, Betty Yu, KPIX 5.
Local politicians and community leaders are reacting tonight, blaming hateful speech for the violence.
Those attacks, that political rhetoric attacking our community has consequences. It fuels hate and violence.
We live in a violent country right now, and leaders are propagating that violence.
Tonight, Mayor Breed said every community should have the freedom to thrive. Every space should be safe. Last night's attack, a horrific reminder that our LGBTQ community is not safe. Breed also recognizing International Trans Day of Remembrance, a day to honor the lives of transgender people who were murdered. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf expressed her condolences, adding national leaders must end gun proliferation and denounce anti-LGBTQ rhetoric.
BITCHUTE is known for making outstanding golf clubs, like our gender.
Okay, so that was the first news clip. That was just one news clip. Every single news outlet across the country ran with that shit, right? Shoved it down our throats. So that was the San Francisco, most liberal news you can find, where they straight up put drag queen in the title. Whew. So we'll watch another one just to show how they're basically all reporting the same thing, but some of them use different actors. So the different news organizations won't all show the exact same clip. So I watched a couple just to get like a comparison. And then this next one, we got a little bit of the number coding that you guys like. We'll see if you guys can catch the number coding. Got to make you watch a commercial, of course. Hurry up, go over. There we go. This guy here at the beginning is a repeat from the last video. So watch this guy at the beginning go, oh, blah, 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 like he's so upset, but no tears. Zero wetness, zero puffiness around the eyes.
Harmed us in a way that I don't know how we can bounce back from this. What can we do? We can rebuild. We can come together, we can do vigils, we can raise money, but that's not going to bring back those 5 people that lost their lives because you want to be a dumb.
A community now in mourning. 5 people killed, 25 others injured in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado. Police say 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich was arrested for the shooting at Club Q. Good evening. I'm Luke Clary. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Alicia Machado. This mass shooting sent shockwaves across the country. Here at home, reaction to the deadly shootings has been swift to condemn the attack. ABC 10's Kurt Rivera spoke with local LGBTQ advocates and has more.
Just hours after a mass shooting at a Colorado Springs gay nightclub, condemnation over 1,200 miles away in Sacramento.
Any time you wake up to the news of lives being lost in a mass shooting and any incidents of violence, it's absolutely heartbreaking.
We've seen shootings in our own city, right here in Sacramento, in Lavender Heights by the gay club. So it's frustrating and aggravating.
Ironically, Saturday night, the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus held a special event for today's International Transgender Day of Remembrance to memorialize transgender people whose lives were taken by violence.
Bring everybody together to reconcile, remember, mourn, celebrate. Whatever you felt for people who know or have known transgender people in their lives.
But with words of remembrance also comes words of anger.
This is part of an orchestrated attack, a violent attack on LGBTQ people.
Democratic Senator Scott Wiener is a leader in the California Legislative LGBTQ caucus. He says an increase of anti-gay rhetoric by some national Republican leaders has led to the uptick in violence.
We have social media platforms that allow us to be called predators and quote-unquote groomers, which is a way of saying that we're pedophiles.
The deadly Colorado shooting then begs the question, what will it take to end the violence?
I guess it's just really fighting and standing up against it. If we hear it, trying to correct it, even if there's that one person that's viewing it, kind of contradicting what you're saying.
Love and let love. Let people love who they want to love. You know, we're not hurting anybody.
Now, we have also reached out to the California Republican Party's leadership for their response to the shooting. We haven't heard back yet.
Governor Gavin Newsom also speaking out about the Colorado shooting, saying, quote, once again, the LGBTQ community has become the victim of a horrifying attack, this time in Colorado Springs, adding, quote, California stands with the LGBTQ community and their right to live freely. President Biden also issued a statement saying in part, places that are supposed to be safe spaces of acceptance and celebration should never.
Yes, propaganda at its finest. Folks, here's what they're really pushing. It was a safe space. This was a place that they're supposed to go and feel safe and accepted and loved. And these evil Second Amendment supporters, who probably also like Trump, they are so crazy that they won't allow these people to have a safe spot. Nope. They show up to their safe spot, commit a bang, bang, pow, pow. Yeah, that's how mean and bad, nasty they are. Hey, you mean and nasty men with your pow, pow, bang, bang. We're having our safe space meeting without you. Don't show up to our safe space and make it dangerous. Quit making our safe space dangerous. Quit it. Oh my God, you guys, these crazy Trump people are like turning our safe havens into dangerous war zones. They should have had me on there. See? Wouldn't that have been just as good as what we saw? Rachel Pizza says, laughing emoji, 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 and laughing emoji. Thank you, Rachel Pizza. Banjer Picker, Banjer Picker says, false flag confirmed. See, I don't even like that term because that's like, to me, it's just straight hoax. Just some straight hoax, made for TV bullshit. False flag to me can mean like, you know, like actually doing something and actually like having some casualties possibly involved, you know? So to me, false flag is like if you know, were to demolish a building and then say bad guys did it. You know, that to me is more like a traditional false flag. Whereas these I like to call them either a drill or better, just a straight hoax. Retro Bill says they will get our guns eventually because they never quit. Here's the thing, Retro Bill. I think they're willing to just let most of the Second Amendment supporters just die out because there's not that many being born. So if you think of how many new Second Amendment supporters are being born, as in like children who grow up with dads who have guns and the dad takes them out shooting and shows them the culture of gun ownership and appreciating it, taking his kids hunting, whatnot. Those are the people who are going to have more of an appreciation for them and want to buy them typically, right? Or, of course, criminals in the hood are, of course, going to want to get a hold of them to do bad things and protect themselves from other criminals. But basically, there's not going to be a shitload of people being born who are going to be exposed to the culture if the people who are into that Second Amendment right-owning culture, you know, if you get what I'm saying, where they're dying out. So your gun lovers are slowly dying out. Your typical white property owning, strong family knit gun owner, they're not making enough children to keep this whole thing going. So who's making the children in the United States? Well, there's a shitload of Mexicans, right? So in the United States, you see Mexican families outbreeding, producing the white families now. And so you'll see a lot of the foreign cultures actually having a lot. Same with the Indian culture. So like the Indian store owner guy will have his like wife and his 5 kids all at the store and shit. And so I just see a lot more of the foreign cultures procreating a lot more. And it looks as though they have targeted the strong knit white family. And of course, just saying that makes me sound like an evil white guy to a lot of people. But when you really look at it, look what they have done to the families from like the 40s and 50s. If you go back and look at a family from the 40s and 50s in America and what it looked like, and then look at what it looks like today, you'll see. So it's kind of hard to put it all into an exact, paragraph and explain it all out, because it's a lot of shit that's been going on a long time, and it's going to continue to go on. And it's a slow progression of evil. And eventually, yes, I agree with you that they will take the firearms away and the Second Amendment will come down, and it won't be that much longer. But I think they are willing to just wait another 40, 50 years for the people who are into owning firearms no longer are alive. And then the kids that they have created are maybe into, more liberal shit, not owning any. That makes sense. Birdie says they won't ban guns. Well, that's a pretty strong statement. I would definitely say that they won't just come out and just be like, they're all banned. They're banned. No, what they'll do is they'll start with certain types like ARs and certain bullet. The bullets is what they'll restrict. They'll start restricting the ammo. And then the people who are into owning guns are going to buy the shit out of them. So they can just start restricting certain types of ammo, certain types of firearms, and then just continue with that legislation. Because only people who are out to do really bad things and commit crimes like the one we just saw would have an AR. No one else wouldn't even need one, right? So if we could just keep these people from getting a hold of, bullets, then we can prevent this from happening. See that? See the lingo? Angelo's X is 100. Well, Birdie, if you don't think so, you don't have to agree with me. But basically, I'll bet you 95% of everyone here does agree with me. And it's not the popular opinion, because most of the people in the world disagree with all of us. So congratulations, Birdie. If you don't think that'll ever happen, then you must be somebody with half a foot still stuck in Normieville. They're definitely changing popular opinion about firearms. And when you look at the big city populations, they're always liberal, less likely to even own firearms. So they're going to get those people to vote away the ownership rights. And they'll do it slowly, very slowly. And then they can use disasters to even perpetuate this. Like in small intervals, even they can have like a hurricane hit a city, and then the cops can say, they can do gun checkpoints and city checkpoints and disarm the public because it's a national disaster and martial law, whatever, has been declared. So they can make up any little rules they want, and in the short term actually do small gun grabs on a smaller level when the public has evacuated their homes. See? So they won't make it like one day all guns are illegal and they're going to come door to door and take them. But there will be small situations where they can find sections of a city and take, some from certain areas for a small amount of time, continue with their plan. That way nobody gets alarmed, right? So it's a plan that they carry out over a long amount of time. So it's like the frog being slowly boiled and doesn't realize that it's being killed. One of those deals. Birdie says, "Truth is, these events sell more guns." Yeah, I see what you're saying, but the end result isn't for us to be super well armed, bro. No chance. So reverse psychology. So they want us all to be super well armed and prepared. Come on, man. Do these events sell more? Yeah, that's because the people who are into guns are like people who are into guitars. You can't just own one. So people who like guns like to own a lot. And they like to stockpile ammo. Kind of like guys who own guitars will usually then buy a second guitar and a third guitar, and then you have 10 freaking guitars, right? So it's a very similar deal. The people who are into it like to buy that shit. And then the people who don't own any, which there's a lot of people who don't own any. Like I said, they're in those liberal areas of a city. And so in a city, you'll have people stacked on top of each other, populations which are super high, all in a very small area. And all those people tend to be liberal voting, liberal mindset, anti-Second Amendment. Mad Dog says, "Yo, we get it. Tiny hats. Most people in the chat is hip to the game. I swear someone is going to say tiny hats again." Yeah, there's always that person who just repeats tiny hats nonstop. But like I told you, at the tippitiest of the tippy top of this pyramid, I think there's something more evil than just a tiny hat. I don't think it's just like a group of tiny hats at the tippity top. I think that's some more bullshit that we're fed. Do I think there's some evil tiny hats? Absolutely. Do I think 6 million tiny hats were extinguished back by the man with the mustache? Absolutely not. So I call out stuff like that, but at the same time, I will tell you guys, to me, there's something more sinister at the tippity top of this that doesn't seem to be human. Whatever's coming up with this plan and getting everyone to go along with it doesn't seem to be human. It might be machine. It might be something more advanced than a human. I'm not going to say alien, like not an alien from outer space, but there could be something non-human that is in control of this realm. I can't figure out what the hell exactly it is, but I don't agree that it's just tiny hats. I think that's a bit of a decoy. Bloody Mary says, "Yes, straight up truth. We were like cattle to them." That's a good example. The way I look at it is like I can't travel and go wherever I want, whenever I want. So like I have to like get a passport if I want to go even just into Canada for a day or into Mexico, right? You have to have a passport, you have to get permission. And then if you want to get on a plane and fly like across an ocean, like if I wanted to go to Japan, not only do I got to get permission, I got to go through the whole rigmarole at the airport, right? And ever since the towers came down, they changed the rigmarole at the airport to be more of a huge pain in the ass and more invasive, right? So at any point, if you go to an airport and think you're going to get on a plane, they can walk up and be like, "Excuse me, we would like to inspect your butthole today and look in all your bags." You know what I mean? Like, because some buildings were demolished years ago, now we get to just assume that you are going to do that at the airport. One time at the airport, I was flying from California to Las Vegas, which is a 1 hour and 10-minute flight. So a 1 hour and 10-minute flight from California to Las Vegas, right? It takes way more bullshit and rigmarole just waiting around. They make you wait around like 2 hours and check in and all at the airport. And then while I was waiting in a line, some guys came up to me who worked there, security guys, picked me out of everyone and said, "Can we see your hands, sir?" And I went like this. And they swabbed my hand with both hands with a chemical before they even asked me. They pulled this wipey thing out and swabbed my hands with some sort of chemical. And I said, "What did you just do?" And they're like, "We're checking to see if you have any residue on your hands." This happened to me. This was years and years ago, before I was who I am now. So I didn't make a big stink about it like I would have now. I was like, "Oh, okay then. I guess that makes sense." So, if that happened to me, I can only imagine what they do to anyone they want at the airport. This is all by design. So, well, like you said, we're cattle. You have to look at it like we're barnyard animals. You have to get permission to go on a little vacation. You can't go travel wherever you want, right? You think you're just going to like have your own plane or your own boat and then go travel wherever you want to? Think again. That's for like the richest of the richest, right? To have your own boat and your own plane and go travel wherever you want to and shit like that. How many people can do that? Very few. It's all by design. So if you do want to go travel outside your little barn, you have to get permission and a visa and go through all the rigmarole and stand in line at the airport and do all of it their way. So one of the hardest parts about trying to figure out what the shape of this world is knowing that I'm a barnyard animal stuck here in my luxurious prison cell. It's a big, giant, luxurious prison cell. I can't figure out what the shape of the earth is, how big it is, if there's any hidden land. I can't figure it out. I don't have the means to go do it myself. No matter how much I save up, I just won't have enough. Even if I get on a plane and go on vacation to somewhere, I have to do all that shit I told you. Get permission, go to the airport and go through all the rigmarole, right? And then when they put shit in a place like, oh, you have to have a jabberoo if you want to travel here or there. Oh, you have to have 5 jabberoos if you want to come into this country. Now they can keep you out of places that you wanted to go just for vacation. I mean, unless you want to, get the jabberoo. Sunflower says 400 private jets flown to COP27 meeting for elites to decide, or COP27 meeting for elites to decide how we should pay to live because of our carbon footprints. Yeah, they routinely get together and plan how they want to slowly extinguish us and lock us down even further. That's kind of one of their things that they do. Angelo Zapp with a donation. I appreciate that, Angelo. Thanks. So anyway, I went off on a big kind of tangent there, but the guy who said that we were, like an animal, like cattle, you really have to look at yourself like even if you're free to like get in your car and drive somewhere, there's always a line that you're not allowed to cross without permission, right? So I can't just like from Niagara Falls just go across that bridge into Canada and have lunch and then come back. No, I have to get permission to go across a bridge into Canada. So when I was in Niagara Falls, I could see Canada across the way. I could see it over there. And I was like, I've never been to Canada. Can I just go over there can I walk across the bridge, not carrying anything, and just have lunch? No, you can't do that. Right? I would have to do it illegally. Swim across the river there without anybody catching me. Yeah, we are literally barnyard animals here. So when I say that the earth is not a spinning ball and they are not going to let you figure out what it is, one of the reasons you're not going to figure out what it is because they have travel restrictions in place. So they'll hand you a Circle AE map, you know, if you're willing to follow some shills. But none of the shills have been exploring and figured out what this place really is. So when it comes down to it, what do you really know about this place outside of your little bubble that you live in? You might have got on a plane and went and visited some other places, but outside these little bubbles that you live in, you don't know how big this place is, how far it goes, how much land and real estate there really is. It might go on forever. There might be unlimited land and ocean, and we're barnyarded in, made slaves, and our souls harvested upon death. Did anyone stop to think our souls get harvested upon death by these evil people? And we're basically like chickens in a coop, and then they can extract our souls from us when we die. So if you go to a hospital and you die, my guess is somehow they are taking the magic thing that happens to you when you die and using that as power. I don't know. I have no idea. These are just crazy things that I think of, and it's all a comedy routine. So even though it seems like I'm getting dark, talking crazy, it's all just for fun. If you don't agree with any of it, feel free to make up your own opinion of something you think is happening. Chris C says that The Truman Show was a documentary. Yeah, that's a very telling movie. I start to feel like Truman if I watch that. It's like, this movie's about me! S4 is a bad joke. Says, when you die, you see black. How do you know that, buddy? I've heard something different. And in my own experience with possible death, I saw something different in black. So my guess is you haven't smoked a hit of dimethyltryptamine. Because if you did, you probably wouldn't say that. Cat knows what I'm talking about. Yes. So something magical is supposed to happen to you. Your brain is supposed to release this chemical and take you on a trip to the other place, the other world. There is another world. This I'm pretty sure of because I've been there like twice, real quickly. And so this is your portal to your other world where I believe you get to hang out for a short while they get you a new body ready. And I've even heard people say that they give you a choice to redo another life, right? And that can be like you going back and doing another round of being a human here again, and that they trick you into doing that rather than going on to the next realm or the next thing. So I've heard people say, like, when you die, you're going to have a choice to repeat as a human again, and then they put you back through the whole process, and then when you're born, you forget everything, and then you're back in hell repeating the same shit. Or if you can reject that, then you can move on to the next dimension, if you will. I can't say for sure. What I can say is that I went to the next dimension for a very short time, and I'm pretty sure that when I die, something really magical is going to happen. And so, since I'm pretty sure that when I die, something really magical is going to happen, I'm going to purposely make sure that I don't die at a hospital. I want to make sure to die somewhere like out in nature. If I can choose, I want to make sure to be able to die somewhere where I know for sure my brain can release that shit and I can die and have the thing that's supposed to happen to me happen to me. Because if I go to a hospital, perhaps they can stop that thing happening to me and somehow gain that power for evil purposes. I don't know. But I do know that if my brain is going to release this shit that takes me on a magical journey, I don't want the hospital or anyone to mess that up. I'm pretty sure that when I go, something really awesome is going to happen. But I'm not allowed to just go yet because my time is not done, right? So I'm not ready to take myself out. Not as of yet. But when the time comes and this place is too big of a shithole to live in, I'm going to make sure to go try and find a way to die out in nature. If I can, try and die out in nature so that I can get my full brain release of the spirit molecule. Top G says 100 Jake, I don't believe in hospitals. Kevin Keister says, Misanthropic, I love your comments and convo. Yeah, Misanthropic is a long-time viewer of mine, long-time sub. She goes way back. Top G says, LGBTQ is a children's new religion. So have you guys seen, they'll even have drag queens come to the library at schools and read stories to the children. I even made a video about that, I think last year, 2 years ago, whatever, that they had a drag queen go to public schools, or different public schools did this. They have the kids go to the library, sit around the library and have a drag queen tell stories, like one that looks like what we saw in the video. And they expose your children to that. Sunflower says, drag queen story time, ridiculous. I thought so. The one that I saw had a dude with a mini skirt on and he was opening his legs to the children. You know, it's like there's women who are like, oh, it's awesome. We should go celebrate this, take our kids to the gay pride parade. So like at the gay pride parade in San Francisco, straight women will show up, straight men will show up, and they'll bring their kids. And what are the kids seeing? Dudes with like their butts and wieners hanging out and shit. You know, I guess that it's good to expose your kid to a bunch of like dudes' butts and wieners and balls hanging out everywhere. Guys jerking off in the bushes. You're gonna take your kid to gay pride parade and expose them to like dudes giving each other hand jobs and blowing each other like, and be like, oh, this is good for children to learn about this. Top G says, it's sick, man. Even the cartoons on TV they show children nowadays as evil. Indeed. Yeah, Disney cartoons, man, you can pick out lots of different evil shit in there. And it goes far back to like the Little Mermaid cover when I was a kid in like 1989, 90, whenever, when that came out, had a dick in the cover. So the cover of the Little Mermaid movie on VHS cassette had a big old dick in the castle. It was like clear as day, a dick in the castle. If you look right in the golden castle, you can even go find pictures of it online, right? Disney was having the, and then when they say they found, when people made an outrage. They were like, oh, it was a couple of the artists. It's not our fault. It was just, we'll change the cover. It was just some artists were doing a sick joke. So they just played it off like it was just the artist's fault. Matthew McGee says sexualizing kids is their main focus. Sick. Sunflower said, I remember that. They corrected later copies. And that's an old example because, you know, like I'm almost 40 years old. So it's an old example. So if you were watching Disney movies with a keen eye looking for what like evil shit, I'm sure you would find a ton. So I don't watch Disney shit. I don't like watch any movies, but they do load movies with a ton of brainwashing and propaganda for sure. So if you do watch movies and look for evil messages and shit that they're putting in there, they might even go as far as to like foreshadow the future in these movies. So if you're paying close enough attention, you can actually get some of the evil shit that's going to happen to you in the future. I just can't watch Hollywood movies, even if I'm going to look for that. I just can't. I just won't make. My attention span won't allow me to watch a 2-hour dog shit Hollywood movie or cartoon just so I can find the evil shit. I just won't do it. But if you are the type of person who doesn't mind watching a 2-3 hour movie, whatever, there's a bunch of evil shit and foreshadowing in the future that you can find in movies. So, for instance, you might watch a movie today, and then in 5 years, something similar from that movie happens. Okay, let me finish up this clip right here because it's almost done. Oh, and I guess I missed a super chat. 1 sec. Retro Bill says, I knew a drag queen named Jenna Talia who was incapable of being drowned because she was flamboyant. Flamboyant. All right, that's a good one. But bang.
Be turned into places of terror and violence, adding, quote, we cannot and must not tolerate hate.
Ever since I switched to Nexus, my
Okay, so that clip's over. All right. John Jaff says every Disney movie has a same-sex couple. Do they really? Should I don't pay attention, man. Wouldn't shock me. Rose Billman says, why not? They take the kids to parades with naked adults simulating acts. I'm not sure if she's talking to someone in the chat or she's responding to something I said. Jur 6900 says, Jake, do you still speak to Shay? Yes, I do. So she didn't want to keep doing YouTube as much because they kept hitting her channel with strikes. She would make a video like just making a basic point about like Bill Gates, let's say, and her video would get struck. So they were not really letting her do or say much. And she was on like 2 strikes, almost getting her channel taken down. And then finally one of them went away, and then she went to upload a few more videos and they hit her with another one. So she was like, screw it. She just took everything down. And she was also having some people like troll her and then like go as far as to be like weirdo and like even stalker level. And that's the thing about YouTube is like it goes beyond just trolls who don't like you. People will like turn crazy and stalkerish. So she just decided to focus more on her real life and just step away from it. And I understand why. But yes, we still chat pretty much daily. Retro Bill says making YouTube vids is not for the squeamish. Yeah, even if you have like a family-friendly channel, people can still become like obsessive and crazy. So I'm not the first YouTuber to have trolls and weirdos like basically stalk me and shit. You know, that's pretty much par for the course if you like get over 10,000 subs. Then shit can start to get weird. That's another reason why I'm like a little hesitant about doing like a meetup across the country, like in all the major cities. It's like I want to meet my subs and do more meetups, but then like knowing just anyone can show up and like have access to me personally, like any weirdo try and keep tabs on me, or I don't know, man, just anybody who's just been against me or whatever showing up and making things weird, starting something with me. It's just, it can be a bit scary to think of like, fuck, I have no idea who will show up. If I say, hey guys, I'm going to be in Seattle, you know, on this date, I'm going to do a meetup in Seattle, I have no clue what type of people would show up. Probably mostly good people, but there's always that chance that, you know, a few weirdos or shills even, you know, Mark freaking Sargent or somebody weird could show up and make it really awkward. You just never know. Dominic Z with a donation says Richie from Boston and Alex Jones on subject. Not tonight. I did watch a Richie video last night. He's pretty much making it known that he's just a shill bag. So I'm kind of, I don't understand why so many people still follow Richie when all he does is like declare that the end of the world's coming. You got to get right with God. And then he'll tell you to get your money out of the banks because they're going to any minute now steal all your money. And he basically repeats that kind of every day. And then he even had this moment where he made sure to like show a 33 on screen and mention it, like, but not like in a way where he's exposing it. He mentioned it like, you guys, it is freaking freezing. It's November and it is 33 degrees. All right. Last time I was in Moab at this time of year, it wasn't that cold. It's gonna be the darkest winter that you ever saw. All right. They're calling this the darkest winter for a reason. And it's already colder than it's ever been. I'm in Moab, Utah, and it is 33 degrees for crying out loud. It's like, okay, Richie, we get it. I swear that was like the last video he did. Rob Gunn says D Marble would probably show up to see you in Seattle. No, he took his money and went and bought a house in Arkansas and fell off the map completely. Just stopped making content and fell off. Yeah, he saved up his money living in the van, and then he was into crypto and shit. He went and bought some property in a house in Arkansas and never made another video. He doesn't give a shit about the truth. And you know what? I was talking shit about him like 6 months ago last year, and he showed up to my community section. Or no, he posted a community post towards me. It's like the only thing he's said in like the last year, and it was towards me. And he's like, some people out there are jealous. I have a house, and I'm working on my house. And so I don't make YouTube videos because I'm working on my house. My house is so big, and I'm too busy with my house. So his house is so big, and he has so much land. He doesn't have time to make videos about flat Earth or any truth-related content anymore because his house is so big. He's working on his house. Doesn't have time to do that anymore, you guys. Yeah. But he had no problem being Mr. Flat Earth famous with Jaron and Dave Weiss and all these losers at the conference, right? He was Mr. Flat Earth back then. Suddenly he doesn't care anymore. He doesn't keep up with any of those guys. He doesn't do the show conferences anymore. Doesn't talk about anything. He just walked away from it all. And if you ask him, his reason is his house is too big. He just can't put any attention onto doing anything like this. So you won't see him talk about these bang bang pow pows being a hoax. You won't see him talking about how the LGBTQ agenda is destroying the family unit now. Once he realized that he was hanging out with a bunch of shills and pushing a circle map that was wrong with a circle sun that was wrong, he just decided to back up and act like it never happened. Christopher says, damn, my comments disappear. Did they? Did somebody accidentally knock out one of your comments? Say whatever you want to say again. Diego says, who was D Marble? He was a shill or a useful idiot, one or the other. I'm starting to maybe think he was just a useful idiot, but he hung out with all the Flat Earth shill crew and went to the conference and waved around the AE map, and then even went as far as to call me a shill and a liar. Made a video against me, right? And now he doesn't do anything truth related at all, and he hasn't for a long time because he's too busy with his house. Florida Todd says, Jake, would you take a boat west from Hawaii to cross the date line if it exists? I have doubts. Man, if I had a big enough boat and crew and all that and was confident and comfortable in that sort of thing, that would be amazing. You know, I still wonder about the dateline stuff too. My biggest issue was when I challenged FPV with the cruises that I found. He wasn't able to like debunk them and prove that there is indeed a dateline deception. So I'm still up in the air with the dateline shit and how that works. So I'm still saying I don't know what shape this Earth is, how far it goes, which map is right. But what I can tell you is I found some things wrong with the FPV Angel style Mercator map that didn't quite seem to fit. And then I also found things wrong with the circle map, circle sun. So it's hard to say what this place really is when they have you locked down like a barnyard animal. Looks like I got a donation from Rose. Rose says, thanks for the stream. I saw this on the news today and knew it was fake and thought of you. See, that's the thing. Once you start watching me and you're awake to this sort of thing, you know what I'm going to say before I say it, but you still want to hear me say it just so you can hear the truth from somebody and agree, right? So you guys know without me telling you, if you were to see these clips, I would hope that most all of you would know that it's propaganda, bullshit, hoax, never happened, made for TV, fake news. So I would hope you don't need me to help you break this stuff down. And that basically the only reason you still watch me do it is because it's fun to have somebody to agree with who can make jokes about it. So I know you guys are smart enough to break all this down on your own. I know there's very few people here that are like, what? I thought that was real. Mind blown. Whoa. Very few people are going to have their mind blown by what I said today. So it's mostly just me and my echo chamber, and we're all just agreeing. It's just nice to put the truth out there like a mighty lion for anybody who might not have figured it out yet, and show that here we are, a community of people. We're all agreeing that, yes, that is a hoax. It's bullshit. And it's some fake news. Thank you very much, Rose. I appreciate that. You are a sweetheart. Chris Chituris fight the good fight with a Canadian donation of $4.20 says, "Funky tees, coolest t-shirts on the streets." These are the coolest t-shirts on the streets, bruh. Rubsky 1978 says Return of the Doink. Yeah, that's pretty much like something that like is said now on every comment section, every video. Now somebody's just like, Return of the Doink. That one's going to be following me around for a while. And I heard that there was a bunch of them. I still have to go back and watch like all the highlights. So I didn't watch highlights yesterday. I just didn't feel like it. So that means tonight I have to binge watch all the highlights from all the games and make my list. Because if I don't do it tonight, then it'll be on me to get it done all tomorrow. So I have to start tonight. So here's what I do when I make my top 10. I watch all the highlights from all the games. So I watch the 10, 15-minute video of all the and I find the most rigged plays. I make a list. Then I sit there and try and rank the plays to what would make a good video. And then I actually hammer out the videos. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I have to sit here tonight and watch a bunch of rigged plays that I don't really want to watch just so I can make a video that I know a bunch of people are going to enjoy. So I enjoy the fact people enjoy the videos, but having to watch every single rigged game, like the highlights, it's a pain in the ass. And if I don't do it, if I skip any of the games, then I might be skipping like an amazing play that should be number one. So I don't want to skip a game, not watch the highlights, and then have that be the one that was the most rigged. So I got to do that tonight. I don't know if you guys saw, I had a really good weekend betting. So I don't usually bet. And I stopped betting sports because it's rigged and I can't figure out who's going to win. But because I watch all the highlights, and I watch every single highlight from every single game, I have the feeling now, it comes from within, that certain games are going to go a certain way. And so this last Sunday, I bet 4 games and I won all 4. Now, I didn't bet a ton of money. I only bet $15 per game, but I posted the picks and, to prove that I did make the bets. And I'm not lying. I didn't put them out public before I made the bets so that all you guys could go 4-0 with me because I wasn't confident in my picks. But I basically faded the public and just went the opposite way of the public. So I've never done this before. I threw all the records out the window. I threw the rosters out the window. I threw the X's and O's out the window. Injury report, did not look at it at all. I looked at the spreads. I looked at the ones I thought didn't make sense. And then I looked where the money was. And I went the opposite way of the money. And on the 4 games that I did do, I won all 4. And so if I get a sneaky suspicion that they're going to try and screw the public over, and I'm going to go the other way, I'm going to start to give some picks out. Now, these aren't going to be guaranteed. I'm not going to sell them. But if I have a strong suspicion that they're going to go a certain way, I'm going to give out picks now on occasion. If I look at a slate of games and I don't like any of them, then I might not make a pick. So I'm not going to pick every game. If you say, Jake, who do you like in this matchup? I might just tell you I'm not betting on it and I'm not picking. But like these last 4, like specifically the Cowboys game, I almost knew that they were going to have the Cowboys squish the Vikings because the spread had the Cowboys favored at Minnesota. Cowboys lost the week before. Vikings won. And somehow still the Cowboys were favored to win. I said, that shit don't make sense. That seems like the Cowboys are going to win easily. And I was right. So I made that pick as well as 3 other picks that I would have never made back when I was a fan, like the Lions. I won with the Lions. I would have never bet the freaking Lions. But I did strictly because the public bet the Giants. Nobody wanted to bet the Lions. So I just went ahead and took them. Because nobody was taking them. Sure enough, the NFL decided to pull that rug out from underneath all the Giants fans. So in the future, I'm going to start handing out picks, and hopefully I can give you guys some winners. but it's on you how much you bet. Jonna X says, thank you for the show. Oh, that is a very generous donation, Jonna. You are a sweetheart. I'm glad you made it here tonight. I sent out some reminders to my mods, not all my mods, but several of my mods, because not everyone's getting notified. So I'm going to come up with a system in the future and do like an email list or a mass text list, and I'm going to hit everybody up that I can before I go live so that nobody misses my streams, or less people miss my streams. So thank you, Jonna, for that donation. You are an absolute sweetheart. I appreciate that so much. Femalien with a donation as well. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I really do. Well, here's a good comment. Shelley says Eddie Bravo and Sam Tripoli equals agents. I don't watch Sam Tripoli much, but I have heard about him being shilly. But Eddie Bravo, total shill. He just did Jaron and Dave Weiss's like Flat Earth Mount Meru pay-per-view shit. Anyone who did the Mount Meru pay-per-view virtual reality shit, a virtual reality event that Jaron and Dave put on, that was a shill show. So Brian, High Impact Flicks did that. Eddie Bravo did that. Owen Benjamin did that. Alex Stein did that. All those dudes are in the same club. Shills of a feather flock together. One more time. Shills of a feather flock together. There's a reason why Alex Stein was on InfoWars selling Alex Jones boner pills, because they're in that same club together. They aren't in the tippity top elite club, but they're in the agent club that gets to dupe the public and play this part for a living. Rose Bellman says, yeah, I have to check regularly. They still shadow ban my channel in ways, and they still remove subs. I had a longtime sub, Marie Gutierrez, who's been my sub since like the very first year. She's been a sub of mine for like 7 years. And she said they removed her like 2 weeks ago. They removed her as a sub. And she said that, she's told me that probably 3 or 4 times. So they are ballsy enough to remove subs who've been subbed to me for a long time. I get why they would try and remove my subs, because some people won't notice, and that's a good way to get rid of some of my audience without them noticing. But to actually be ballsy enough to just rip my subs who've been following me for years, think they're not going to notice and resub, it's like some sinister shit. So right now my channel is growing a lot because of the NFL stuff, but they're still not notifying people when I post content or go live. They're still removing subs. So even though my subs are going up, I don't know what my number really should be. I should probably be way over 100,000 subs by now, because they've been taking subs away for years. And I've got plenty of proof of people saying, Jake, they unsubbed me. Not once, not twice, sometimes 3 and 4 times. So then I think of all the people who didn't tell me, who got unsubbed and didn't notice. And holy shit, I should easily be well over 100,000 subs. The good news is we're growing faster now than we have since the old Flat Earth days. My channel is starting to shoot upwards in subs because of the NFL content. So that's the good news, is that they aren't making me lose subs each month now, because of the NFL content is bringing in so many new people. I'm getting more new people watching me now than I have since back in like 2016 and 17, when the Flat Earth was blowing up and they were promoting it. So there's a lot of fans finding out that the NFL's rigged, and they're coming to me, because there's only like 4 or 5 people making content about it, and I'm the best. So they're coming to me. So anyone who watches a game where they're like, that shit seemed rigged, if they type in rigged NFL into a computer, the chance that they're going to find me is very strong. And when people find that there's somebody like me calling it out, calling all the teams out, all the games that I see rigged shit, calling them all out, they're usually very happy to see somebody like me exist. Then they can go, oh, okay, now I know it's true, because this guy's showing the plays and all these people in the comments are agreeing. So in effect, we're basically with this community helping wake people up way fast, because sports fans who figure out that their NFL is fake, their mind is open enough to think about the government also being fake, right? So once people realize their football is rigged and scripted and they come to me, chance that they're going to listen to me about this hoax bang bang pow pow that we just heard, chances of them listening to me is a lot better, because they're not going to be distracted by a fake football game. Oh, we got a guy pushing shill shit here. Watch this. The Honkering says it makes no sense that they're literally all shills. It's a ridiculous explanation that all these people are sold out, bought out. They're just regular middle class people who are ridiculed widely. Yeah, and guess what's going to happen now, buddy? You're going to go away forever. Bye. You're gone from my channel forever for saying that. Nobody will miss you. I completely disagree with what you said. So much so that I don't ever want to see you here again. And I'm not going to spend time arguing with you because you're a moron. People can't be bought out. That's ridiculous to think that anyone could sell out. You think Alex Jones and Alex Stein are both shills? That's ridiculous. Gone forever. Bye. Go watch those regular middle class people. Alex Jones is a regular middle class people, you guys, who's going to pay $1 trillion to some sandy hacks. Excuse me. Alex Jones is just a middle class dude. David Weiss, just a middle class dude. So they're all just middle class dudes, man. Just some middle class dudes. I'm glad he set the record straight. How could I have been so wrong this whole time about those guys? Thank you for setting us all straight. Bye-bye. Dominic Z says, I thought Alex Jones could sustain 300 employees with selling boner pills. Yeah, so it's one thing, like, if you fall for some of this shit, but then to be like, nobody can be a sellout. Like, I can see why some people have fallen for the Alex Jones shit, but then to be like, nobody's a sellout. They're all just middle class guys. I don't think you understand how controlled opposition works. Letting everyone say whatever they want and have a platform for everyone to say whatever they want doesn't fit the agenda. They'd rather go ahead and have talking heads say little bits and pieces of the truth, so that they can control and lead anyone following them into bullshit, right? Into lead you in a circle so that it never goes anywhere. So a guy like Richie from Boston will give you some truth, but he'll also day after day just tell you that the end of the world's coming and you need to get right with God, and that the fallen angels are going to come, and just whatever horse shit he wants, just day after day. Same thing with Brian High Impact Flicks. These aren't just regular dudes. They all work together. So what are the chances that Jaron's a regular dude, David Weiss is a regular dude, Eddie Bravo's a regular dude, Brian High Impact Flicks is a regular dude, and Owen Benjamin is a regular dude, and Alex Stein is a regular dude. And they all just happen to want to do this pay-per-view together. Did they break down fake bang bang and pow pows? No. Did they break down any real truth? No. Was it just a big AE map jerk fest to help promote David Weiss's tracking app? Yes. But if you aren't smart enough to see that, then you don't deserve to know the truth. Then you maybe deserve to be ripped off and duped. So if you think those guys are all real dudes who want to get together and hang out with each other, then go buy their shit. Go buy Brian's powder in a bag, and go buy Alex Jones boner pills and take them, and then go watch Alex Stein act like a flaming faggot. Go do it if that's what you want. Now I got someone pushing girls in the chat. That's going to be going fast. So they don't like what I'm saying now. So now they're like, get a naked girl here. Find naked girls who want to have sex with you in your area right here. Click this. Nice try, shillbot. Gone. PJ CNET says Alex Stein just loves publicity. He didn't talk about flat earth when he was in the public eye for a short while. Yeah, they let him go sit next to Tucker Carlson on mainstream TV, and they let him sit next to Alex Jones and sell his boner pills. They give him his own segment on InfoWars and let him do a promotion for the lab-made bull crap from Alex Jones, right? And then his channel blew up like 200,000 subscribers in a very short amount of time. What are the odds? And now he has a shitload of like little bot fanboys who watch him and they say, Alex Stein is a pimp on a blimp eating shrimp. Just 10,000 dudes saying that. That's all you have to do to be funny and famous. Say that you're a pimp on a blimp eating shrimp. So clever. I see why he got to be on Tucker Carlson saying things like that. Oh, he went to a town hall meeting and acted like a flamer and said he's a pimp on a blimp. Well, then of course he deserves to be famous and sell Alex Jones boner pills. I mean, why wouldn't he? Jordan Duran, no, he didn't. On Tucker Carlson, he did not, and on InfoWars, he did not. And when he did mention it, he said he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to talk about it. He said he doesn't believe in it for sure. So he was hanging out with Jiren and Dave Weiss, and they were doing a baby truther show, watching women get beat and stuff, pushing David Weiss's tracking app. And then he got promoted to be on Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. And none of the media was like, hey, how come you were hanging out with those flat earth dudes? No, no one brought that up. Funny. Funny how he got promoted to the world stage from being a lackey, a sideshow lackey. They must have saw something they really liked in him. He seems to have that sort of attitude that fits with the small hat attitude, right? Flamer, who would easily bend over for anybody in order to advance his career. I mean, a guy like Alex Stein, if they were like, hey, we're going to need you to bend over for us literally right now and let us do our business inside of you, and then we'll let you be like, okay, sounds good to me. Go ahead and get started. I'm Alex Stein, content 99. I'll bend over for anyone. I'll cut my grandma's throat and I'll bend over for anyone so that I can be on TV. Content 99 on a grind at a time. Time at a time. I'm like a pimp on a blimp. I'm a pimp on a blimp. It's straight on a blimp. It's 10 minutes over the time. You want to come watch me do comedy? I don't tell any jokes, but I do rhyme. I rhyme all the time. Alex Stein in the prime and the 9 and the 9 in the time. Ah! Right? Because that's how you get famous. Show up to a town hall meeting and do that. And you're famous. You get to be on TV. They don't put me on TV for saying funny stuff. No. They put that guy on TV for sure. Oh. We got another guy who's never, ever going to be on this channel ever again. It's this guy. Peter Smithy says, Alex Stein is funny. WTF. Well, Peter Smithy, it was nice knowing you, buddy. Enjoy being blocked from my channel forever. Go over to his channel and tell him I just did that to you. See if he cares. Bye, Peter. Go shove your head up Alex Stein's gay asshole. since you think he's so funny. Tell me how his farts smell. Oh, wait, you're blocked. I guess I'll never know. My audience thinks that's hilarious. My audience thinks that that is super funny. Exactly, Chris. Alex Stein is only funny to tards who think that acting like a flamer and rhyming shit is funny. It's not funny. He doesn't have any clever jokes. If you watch his comedy routine, he just gets up on stage, says his name, rhymes it with some stuff, and does that just that loud, obnoxious thing the entire time. He doesn't actually have any real bits that anyone likes. He just goes to those town hall meetings and acts like a flamer. And to people who are into like watching retarded movies and TV shows and believe the news is real, perhaps they think that's funny. Being that I am the funniest person who actually is alive, and I know it, I'm quite disgusted by people like him. Fem Alien says no talent. Yeah, remember when he was a lackey hack sidekick on the fucking Baby Truther show? I do, because I'm the one that basically took that show apart, and they don't do it anymore. I'm the one who destroyed the Baby Truther show. I destroyed every single person on that channel doing that thing that they do. And Alex Stein was one of those people. And he didn't bother to try and make any video against me or refute any of it or do his impression of me. No. So he's a talentless hack who was a lackey sidekick with Jaron and Dave Weiss, and he still is in some ways their lackey sidekick. He just became more famous than they are really quickly because he was promoted on television. Go figure. You go on Tucker Carlson once, go on the InfoWars show once, and you get 200,000 subscribers. Just like that. People who love and adore you overnight and say, "Pimp on a blimp eating shrimp! Alex Stein, so funny! Pimp on a blimp eating shrimp! Ha 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 ha! So funny!" All you have to do is sit next to Tucker Carlson and sell Alex Jones boner pills. Once. You get 200,000 subs. Shows you the power of television. Hot POS says, yeah, you did. Even today, if you're going to watch Jurin, that become really nothing to talk about. Dude, their little show, it's nothing but trying to get people to download David Weiss's app. Every little thing they do is just, how can we turn this into a commercial to get people to download David Weiss's tracking app? That's it. So the whole Mount Meru thing is just like a big way to turn it into a commercial for Dave, basically. Everything they do always comes back to like a big commercial for that app. And they don't ever discuss anything real. When was the last time Jaron broke down a bang bang pow pow? Young David Lee says, pay me and I'll promote Fake Ball Earth. Let me get that actor's pay like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye. Oh shit, now you're sounding like Joe Rogan. You guys remember that clip where Joe Rogan is like, hey, if you show me an alien, I'll lie to my mother. I'll lie to my mother right now if you show me an alien. Right? Just show Joe Rogan an alien and he will sell out his family and lie to him. Yeah, verbatim. I'm not even over exaggerating. He's like, I'll lie to my mother. Show me an alien, I'll lie to my mother right now. Verbatim, Joe Rogan said that. A voice for Charlie says, hearing your comedic perspective helps me keep my sanity in this crazy world. It helps me keep my own sanity. So I do this to keep my own self sane. So I'm able to like say this stuff that's on my mind and have you guys listen and appreciate it, because nobody else that is like in my family or like out in the real regular world like wants to hear anything that I'm saying, really. And so for me to be able to have a place to say this stuff is important for me. And then you guys get the benefit of hearing somebody like me say it. So you have somebody to agree with and make you laugh. So it's really beneficial for both of us. That's kind of why I still do this. I could go get, another job or do something else and not have to like think about these trolls and people spying on me and agents. I could just be like, screw all that. I'm just going to go get a regular job and not deal with any of it. But I really do enjoy having a crowd of people that knows what I'm talking about, agrees with what I'm talking about, and understands what I'm talking about. Just having somebody get it and be like, yep, totally, Jake, helps. Because nobody will say, yep, totally, I agree, if I was to say that this Club Q bang bang pow pow was a hoax. Like if I said that to anyone in my family, they'd be like, you're crazy. Why would the news make that up? The news would get sued if they made that up. See, so nobody would agree with me. So at least I get to turn on the camera and tell you guys and have you guys be like, yep, totally. So then we both get to feel better for agreeing with each other, if nothing else. Mad Dog says, we know what's up, bro. That's what's awesome about my audience is like 95% of you are damn near as smart as me. And most of what I tell you, you already pretty much kind of know because I've already explained it over all the years. So every once in a while, I might give you a new detail or something you might not have thought of. But for the most part, when we break down fake space, you already know. When we break down a bang bang pow pow, you already know. When I'm telling you why a shill is a shill, you already know. So the reason we're here is so that we can laugh about it and agree with each other. Shelly says, confirm the BS together. Exactly. And sometimes you guys help spot things like that I miss, like when we're watching the NASA rocket takeoff, you guys might spot something that I wasn't thinking of. Like there was a 66666 on the screen and you guys all spotted that while I was talking about something else. So then I brought that up. So in a way, it was like I had my audience helping me debunk NASA live. So stuff like that, I really enjoy. And where else are you gonna get to do this? There's not really an interactive way to tell the truth and talk about the deceptions going on. So these type of channels are far and few, right? A voice for Charlie says of strength and unity. Andy says, hi, everyone. Hi, Andy. Randy Green says, we're here for the comedy, but you are definitely always ahead of the pack, grassroots. There's other guys who cover some of what I cover, but none of them have the sense of humor that I have. The only other person that I enjoy watching, and I'm not like completely sold on the guy. There's some videos that, like I said, I don't agree with them, but Mag breaks down stuff like what I break down. So Mag Bitter Truth on BitChute, he does some good videos. So I don't always agree with what he says, but a lot of his takes about like the government propaganda and the fake news, he's usually pretty dead on. But there's not a lot of people, hardly anyone that like I watch and enjoy that talks about this sort of stuff. It's like I have to do this for myself to create the content that I want to see and hear, because I can't get it from anyone else. I can get a little bit of it, you know, I can watch a few of Mag's videos, but it's still, he doesn't talk about stuff in the same way I do. He doesn't make all the same points. He doesn't cover all the same topics. So I notice if I really want to get this info out there and be the change that I want, then I'm the one who has to fucking create that content. Don't judge me, says Q and Fee gives me the creeps. Why? I think Q and Fee's great. Q and Fee goes after the globe and goes after flat earth shills, and he doesn't sell anything, and he doesn't push propaganda and bullshit. He goes after the globe and he goes after the shills, and his specialty is 3D modeling. I think it's great. I think he's fun to talk to. I like his sense of humor in his accent. So I completely disagree. I enjoy his stuff, and I hope he makes another video soon. Yes, Q is Dutch. He's from Amsterdam. Hi, people. So these, oh God, I was like trying to do his voice there, and I like lost it for a minute. There is no moon in this direction, piece of shit. You must be some kind of stupid or something. Wow. But when I model it up from 3 different directions, it don't look like that, piece of shit. Maybe it's because you're too stupid. You retard. Well, it needs a little work. I haven't watched a video. I haven't seen a video of his like today or yesterday. If I watch a video and I get the voice in my head like very recent, I can usually do an impression a little better. But Mad Dog says, "Nah, man, that was good." Sunflower says, "I love it when he calls people piece of shit." That is because you didn't use the official data, you piece of shit. What are you, some sort of fucking retard or something? Donette Mitchell says, "What's your opinion on Monograph?" I don't watch them, so I don't really have an opinion. I think I might have checked him out like years ago, but I forgot what he even talks about. So I really don't know. Andy says, the earth is like a woman. It's complicated. I've never heard anyone describe it like that, but I like it. I can somewhat agree. Jails' thoughts on channel What's Her Face. I liked her for like a week, and then she got annoying, and then I unsubscribed. I don't like women who are real loud and obnoxious and like to come at me like this and tell me what I should be thinking. Any woman who's got like a really abrasive, super like just annoying personality, I just don't like it. Even if I agree with what they're saying, I'll just be like, you're annoying me, shut up. So she was one of those that, like, even though I liked what she was saying, like on some of her videos, I didn't like how just obnoxious she was. I don't know. Maybe this is me. Dominic says, I'm buying a big sailboat next spring. I'll discover and report what lies on the outer edges of the world with proof. Hey, good luck to you, sir. That sounds like a fun journey. Sounds a little scary, but it also sounds, quite intriguing to go, sailing and discovering places that you've never been to. Shit, I looked into sailboats. Man, they're expensive. Even for a smaller boat, it can be really expensive. So boating is made expensive, for a reason. Randy Green says, remember when Powerland tried calling you out for smoking weed? No, what he did was when I was on the road in Texas where weed is illegal, he said in a live stream, Jake is in Texas right now with a car full of pot. And I was like, and he was supposed to be my friend at the time. And he said that during a live stream. I'm like, bro, why would you say in a live stream I'm in Texas with a car full of pot? Like, first off, I was carrying like an ounce, not a car full. But still, it's illegal, and you don't want to get pulled over and have your pot taken or given a ticket or put in jail for any reason. So when he said that, yeah, he pissed me off. So it's been years since I've talked to that guy. I haven't heard from him in many years now, so I have no idea what he's been up to. Last I heard, he was just hanging out with Katie and not doing YouTube or videos anymore and just raising their kid. Cat I Am, Healing Artist, and Spellbreaker says, so why did you call Q and Fee a faceless coward? Okay, what you did is you watched a shill video that took a clip of me calling RV, Russian VIDS, a faceless, nameless coward. And then they took that and had me make it look like I was doing that to Q and Fee. I've had Q and Fee here on my channel twice. We're pals. I don't know what he looks like. I don't care because he doesn't scam anyone or do the wrong thing. So if he wants to remain faceless and nameless, I don't care. I called Russian Videos a faceless, nameless coward, and then a shill channel like Jaren or somebody takes these clips, cuts them up, and tries to make it look like I'm calling Q and Fee a faceless, nameless coward. So you really need to do your due diligence. If somebody's trying to make me look bad and using clips, you really should look at what you're watching. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and it didn't happen that way. See, I'm pretty good at explaining myself. So yeah, I did a stream with Q and Fee, I want to say, like just before the season started, or just as the season started for football. So back in September, I want to say, mid-September-ish, me and Q did a stream for like 4 hours. And we went over globe bullshit. We went over flat earth shills. We watched like 5-6 of his videos, had him answer questions. So I had him on not that long ago. And I'll probably have him on again, maybe when the season ends or something. And I'm not talking about football as much. I'll bring him back on again. So definitely no issue between me and him. I called Russian Vids a faceless, nameless coward because he's a shill who's scamming people. Whereas Q and Fee, if he doesn't want to show his face, I actually understand. He doesn't want anyone to disregard his 3D modeling and make fun of what he looks like or talk about what he looks like. And he wants people to only focus on his modeling and what he says. And he's not selling anything. He's not monetized, not scamming anyone. He's not on the shill side. So I personally don't give a shit if he wants to remain in the shadows and not show his face. I get to pick and choose who it bothers me. If someone's a shill and they're coming after me and they won't show their face, that's a person I'm calling a faceless, nameless coward. If somebody's saying that the globe is bullshit and doing 3D modeling and not tricking anyone or scamming anyone, well, I don't got a problem with that. Simple as that. Randy Green says definitely something insane in Antarctica. Yeah, who knows what's happening there? All right, y'all, I've been on here for a couple hours. I'm getting a little tired. I'll go let you guys go ahead and finish enjoying your Monday night. We covered the bang, bang, pow, pow, and that was all I had for you. So we'll go ahead and cut this one off, and maybe I'll do another stream later on in the week. And tonight I'll get to work on the top 10 NFL rigged video. So until next time, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this stream. Make sure before you leave to smash the thumbs up button for me, please. Thank you. Share the stream with a friend if you think they might enjoy it. Indeed, great night and great chat. I want to thank you guys for being here. Everyone who donated, thank you very much. Everyone who said something in the chat, even if I didn't pull up your comment on screen, I always go back and watch the whole entire stream and watch the chat and see who says what. So I always see everything that everyone said, so I won't miss it. So if you thought I missed all your comments tonight, don't you fear. I will be reading every single one of these tonight or tomorrow when I go back and rewatch. All right, so until next time, guys, enjoy yourselves out there on the world stage. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.